Hello. Okay. Daxter. First of all, I want to tell you this is out of respect. If I didn't respect you, I wouldn't reply to you this way. Also, I want you to know that what I'm going to say is about you. It's not about Crossmac, nor is it about Ian. It's about you. Now, you have a right to criticize however you see fit, but you do open yourself up to criticism. Now, the thing is, I'm going to repeat, I'm not here to defend Ian. And frankly, I can see, and Ian, I assume you can take this from what I've seen of your videos, which is not nearly as many of them as you have seen, Daxter, I guess. But anyway, I'm not here to defend him. This is about you. You have overreacted. I do understand some of the problems. Uh, and you're forlorn. You have a plaintive worry about you that is hard to take. And I think it's fair to say that often that kind of surface hides a much more selfish underneath. And that's not an accusation. Because I think this surface of forlorn thoughtfulness is sincere. So I think that there's a balance there. But sometimes what it is that the inner self wants specific things for itself that it needs from the world, or it wants. And the forlornness can come, not always, but can come from the fact that that doesn't fit well with what the world needs from the self. Anyway, that's my interpretation of that. But it doesn't bother me nearly as much. And actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about something that could be taken as a defense of Ian. But really, it's not. And to say why before I start, I'll I'll tell a little story. Well, it's not a story. I'll have a glass of wine before. What it is an idea of a great philosopher, and I won't say which one. But this idea was about when you feel kind of nauseous. When you look at something, I mean, his example was when you look at a society, a culture, and it's like the behavior, the pedestrianness, that it likes bad art, whatever. And it applies to an individual or really anything that makes you intellectually nauseous because it falls from the whole metaphor of nausea. If something makes you nauseous, like Ian, intellectually, then Ian is the poison and you are the poisoned. And who is the stronger of these two? It would have to be the poison. The poison is stronger than the victim, unless the victim makes it. Now, to even be poisoned, to even be nauseous is to have been poisoned. So really, the instruction here is that you either get a stronger stomach or you don't consume that anymore. For your own good, so that you can take the strong position. If you indulge your pet peeves, then you prime your intellectual metabolism for these bouts of nausea. And now, for my example of how what is really a pet peeve at his style has caused you to overplay your negativity. And it's on this subject of the computers. I want to go through, you had a long thing, so I see I'm already 4 minutes or so, depending how if I edit, but I don't have a director's account, I might do it in segments. You went through a lot of points, I'm going to touch on many of them. But the one that's conclusive, that you really should understand, I think you will actually right away yield it, is this photo shows you a computer, and it's a computer made by MIT. It's supposed to be $100 computer. I don't think they're in manufacture yet, as far as I know. You see the crank there? Interesting, isn't it? Why do you suppose it's got one of those? Yeah, that's right. It doesn't need power. It's created for poor people in rural environments like Africa. You know, I actually hadn't seen Crossmax, what was it called? Uh, Reprehensible Humanity or something. I hadn't seen that till I ended up watching it after I decided to reply to you. And, you know, his idea was to have computer centers. Those are expensive. Libraries, expensive. These are $100 computers. Now, I forget, I didn't look this much detail because this is something I've been following for years. There was also a SimPuter before it that didn't work so well. It had a point of failure problem with the hard drive, really. When you have dirt floors, it's surprisingly hard to keep your computer operating. And the hard drive actually is one of the main problems. These can have, the power isn't a big deal. It has a wireless network so that it automatically can trade information. The idea is for $100 you get the best library in the world. And if even one person can travel into town or carry that computer, then, and it's only a mere moments to transfer information, then you can bring it back and transfer it to other people. These people might use that information to make their own power stations. I mean, all they need to have is a generator, and with the internet information, you could build a small power system. So I think that's good enough. It's made by MIT. Obviously, they, you know, if what you said about Crossmac, or am I supposed to call him Ian? Anyway, what you said about Ian, if I put MIT in there, are you ready to call MIT just an idiot? Probably not. People have thought this through. So what's my point? Well, why do you expect structure from Ian? Why do you expect structure? Do you see the potential for structure in there? What is it that you're really complaining about? Not everybody has structure to offer. If he has a poetic idea, an inspiration, the fact is some of those silly ideas, you know, are inspired. Now we'll go through some others that are not so inspired. But I think you can see that there's many cases, if you look closely, where you do this. You're reacting, and I'm here to explain how you two are just simply miscommunicating. You're exploring different aspects of cognition.